Aha! This is Labors, and these are the paints I used in this video. I start with a base layer consistency of xereus purple to cover the flames and the areas that the flames would highlight. When it comes to the OSL effect, I like to separate my neutral highlights that you can see on the front from the OSL highlights that I'm introducing on the sides. To have that separation, we need a little transition between the two light sources by the darkest layer color. Yennefer's dress is black, so we need black between the two sections. It doesn't really matter what you paint, if it's a green cloak, a red shirt, as long as you make the separation with your darkest layer color. It's going to look like a little bit more clean in my opinion. At this stage, it might not be that visible, but I'm trying to keep the depth of the clothing. What I mean by that is on the front you can see the highlights are catching the small folds of her corset, so probably the sides have some folds as well. I would use the word probably because the downside of the black primer is sometimes you can't really figure out the small details. Not much folds on the legs except the knee section where she got that raggy end of her boot. So emphasize this little fold and don't just sketch out the major volumes because you can have way more detail this. Once I'm done with the sketching, I thin down the paint to a glaze consistency and start moving my brush from the black parts to the purple parts. Always wait for your layers to dry or I will slap on your tiny hand and repeat the process until your blends are smooth like Granny's butt cheek. In the heat of blending, you might create bigger highlight areas than you'd like, but don't worry about it. It's like Granny's blood pressure. Sometimes it's high, but you can always bring it down with some dog tranquilizers. At some places I couldn't separate the OSL highlights from my neutral highlights as I first tried to, so I glazed back some black where I felt like it needed some crispy darkness between the two light sources. By the way, following this rule is really going to help you out with your OSL painting skills. When I wasn't very familiar with the painting process of the OSL, I always understood that, okay, I want to have a nice hue for my OSL effect, but how do I start? Because if you start to build your OSL mid-tone, for example, over your highlights, it's going to look a little bit weird. And as soon as I realized that, I just need to separate these highlights with the darkest layer color of my subject. And it's very important, it's not the OSL effect darkest layer color. After that, it just clicked and was way easier to do for me. Of course, I'm not saying that's the only thing you need to understand about it, but it's going to give you a starter point. If you might wondering, okay, Papa Labors, but what if I want to transfer this OSL to the skin or hair or metallic surfaces? That's a very good question, by the way. Almost feel like I thought about the exact thing. So you follow the basic rule. Separate the OSL with your darkest skin color, darkest hair color, and darkest NMM color. But you can have some nice results if you don't separate them at all. Now this is the confusing part. When I don't separate these areas, it feels more like a glow effect, in my opinion. Like when I paint the eyes on my Marvel Zombies heroes, you can see that I don't make this harsh separation, but when I work with bigger volumes, I like to do it. We start to layer in the second highlight color. Now I'm reducing the highlight areas on the flames and the size of the character as well inside my previous xereus purple layer. It's very important that you won't get rid of your previous layer. With every iteration of your layering, you cover smaller and smaller surfaces, okay? This way your highlights will have more depth and I won't have to slap on your tiny hand because you'll get rid of the contrast that we are trying to build up. When you're placing these highlights on the gloves and the feather collar, remember the part when we talked about the depth of details. When you're placing these highlights on the feather collar, try to leave some black lines between the feather. I mean, it looks more like fur, but I was checking reference pictures and I think those are feathers. If you separate them rather than painting just the volumes, it will have more definition no matter how small these details are. The gloves have the same texture over their binding, but you can sketch just the volume there because those parts are much closer to the light source, so the layer we're painting right now will act as the recessed shadow like it does on the collar with black, okay? So the black on the collar is going to be purple on these areas since they are closer to our light source. The further the object from our light source, the less intense should be our OSL effect on that area. Light travels in every direction, but the hands are blocking the flames to reach the lower side of the character with the same intensity. Try to imagine light as a sphere around the hands. The bigger the sphere, the bigger the light source, and this sphere creates our highlight areas. How big you want to make this sphere is up to you, but remember the direction of the light. The way the arrows goes, that's how the highlight areas should be painted and how the recessed shadows would form. If there is light, there is shadow as well. So you need some shadow areas to emphasize the forms better that the light is casted upon. Now with pure kakophoni purple, I continue the process, and this will be the last highlight I will be using on the character's body. We will continue to highlight the flame after that, but the other rule you should always follow when painting OSL is that your light source always have to be brighter or higher in value than the surface that is reflecting that light source. This could also vary because if she's wearing some shiny armor that could reflect the light with almost the same intensity like the light source itself, but she's wearing some sort of leather or cloth corset with some leather strap around it. Leather can be very shiny and reflective, but rarely goes to the same areas as metals or surfaces that have a more glossy finish. On the flames in her hand, I try to build up the intensity towards her palms, so that's where these purple fireballs are the hottest or brightest. I have no clue what spell she's making. I was having a hard time on Geralt too, figuring out which sign he uses, but I think this heavy purple accent on the character art is probably more of a design choice, color coding the characters to make them a bit separated if you're not familiar with the Witcher characters. Anyway, on the flames or smoke that is coming from the base, I use some thin layers to blend in the highlights, moving my brush from the previous layer area to the recent one. Repeat the process until you are happy with it and wait for your layers to dry, or Papala boards will go to your house and slap on your tiny hand when you are sleeping. Believe me, it's not a nice thing to wake up to, and then you'll be confused like, wait, how did you get in my house, blah blah blah. Just wait for your layers to dry or use a hairdryer to speed up the process. Add some white grey to the purple and push the contrast more on the flames, moving the highlights closer to the palms. I'm not placing these highlights over the smoke because I like to pull the focal point more towards the upper section of the character, but if you prefer to have this value over these smoky parts, then go for it. I'm using a thin layer consistency so it blends in very nicely. You can use a base layer too if you want to have a more clear flame tongue, but I guess it's a little bit faster that way, and we have some small areas to work with, so we have more room for error within layers. Next, we paint the maximum highlights of the flames with white grey. Now with this value, you can see how the OSL effect works on the sides of the characters. We have a clear indication for our light source, and it nicely illuminates the body. I'm using a color off-white for the flames, and if you're following the PDF, you might ask why are we using different highlight color like this white grey. Using different highlight colors for the black parts that are a little bit warmer for the neutral highlights are separating the two highlights more. So we can express the different light sources this way, by also keeping the dress black, which can be a little bit tricky if you don't know how to highlight black. Lastly, I go back with Kakophoni purple glaze to reintroduce my midtones to the flames, reducing my white grey areas a little bit. Thank you for watching, and as I mentioned, you can find the full PDF painting guide for Yennefer on my Patreon page, and you can vote on the next mini if you're interested in more Path of Destiny painting content. A huge thanks to the people over Patreon who support these kind of videos, and special shout out goes to Cold-Blooded Dom, Trying to Paint Minis, Jonathan Mosner, Glitchy McCrash, Penoman45, Michael Kell, Remlo, and Simon Stefan. I hope your day will be as smooth as a granny's butt cheek.